Om Shanti. Today Baba is talking about some things very strictly in the Murli. Who amongst you has read the Murli in the morning? Read or heard the Murli? Yes. So you know that Baba is a little strict today. Now, first we need to understand that Baba is showering so much on us. He's giving us the knowledge that saints and sannyasis left their houses to search for. Yes, they renounce so much to seek this knowledge, the knowledge of who they are or the knowledge about God. And Baba comes and gives all of this just like that to us. You know, day 1, day 2, day 3 keeps telling us. I don't know whether we even had questions that he answers. So he tells us what we wanted to know. He tells us things that we didn't know, even we want to know. So he tells us everything. And then he gives us so much sustenance, the sustenance of pure love, the sustenance of peace, the sustenance of guidance. He's giving us so much. And do you understand that when you take from someone, you're bound to give back? This is a law. Nothing in nature is free. If something comes free and we just keep taking because it's free, and we do not understand our return responsibility for that, then we will be in a karmic debt. And this is a law that we need to understand. And you see, why nature has become our, nature has become the cause of our sorrow. Because nature was free and we kept exploiting it without reciprocating, without understanding our return responsibility. Yes, so when something is free, we need to understand that that's how it's given, but then there is a return responsibility attached to it. And Baba in the Murli very clearly is talking about, every day Baba is talking about what our return responsibility is. So Baba says that I am giving you all of this love, this knowledge. I'm giving you this pure association with the ocean of purity. I taught you how to connect your mind and intellect with me. I'm giving you all of this so that you become pure and you make others pure. Yes, so this is our responsibility, the return responsibility, that I become pure and I teach others how to listen to Baba or how to belong to Baba and how to embrace this path of purity. This is our responsibility. And Baba says that if you don't do that, and if you just continue doing things that you thought were now normal and natural and ordinary, like very simple thing Baba says today, getting angry. So Baba says that you used to get angry at the drop of a hat before you were in Gyan, and that was okay. But now you are receiving so much from the ocean of peace and love. And still, if you get angry, then that is not done. And Baba says, you will receive 100-fold punishment for even that one act of anger. Because you're not realizing that after taking so much of sustenance, the least that is expected from us is our behavior should be pure, peaceful, loveful, happy, and something that gives happiness to others, not not makes others miserable. And Baba says that you are the examples of what God's children are like. You are the ones people are watching. You are every day, you are taking the class, you are listening to the Murli, and people around you are watching that. And you are the one they know who is listening to God. And then it is your actions that they see, and they get an idea about what God is teaching and what God makes one like. And then if your behavior is devilish like it used to be, then this becomes a very big source of disservice. Yes, and I have seen people who say, हाँ हमने बहुत BKs देखे हैं. Yes, so I have seen many BKs who do nothing and who are just like, there's no change in them. And think about that one person or two people who they have seen, and because of whom they don't have faith in God and they cannot learn from God because they've seen that one BK. So Baba says, you do not become that one BK. You become that one who everyone sees and says, okay, this is the person who goes to God and learns from God, and this is who I want to become like. So Baba says, understand that when you're taking so much sustenance from Baba, there is a return responsibility of becoming serviceable. And this serviceable is a very good, very, very interesting term, What is serviceability? Serviceability is the ability to do service. So, when I was studying economics, then we used to learn the definition of demand. Yes, and a demand is a desire backed by the willingness and ability to pay. So I think this is very appropriate because sometimes you have the desire to do service. Yes, you want to serve people, there are good intentions, but then there has to be a very firm willingness backed by concrete action, and there has to be the ability to serve. And if you don't have the ability to serve, because spiritual service cannot be done without being spiritually powerful, spiritually virtuous. So you cannot give knowledge without being knowledgeful. You cannot make anyone pure without being pure yourself. So Baba says, be serviceable in the sense that you become an embodiment of what Baba is giving you, and only then can you serve others. And Baba says, this is what I want you to do as a return responsibility. Become serviceable and serve others. Yes. When somebody meets you, they should want to meet Baba next. Yes. When somebody sees you, they should try to know where is this coming from? What is the source? Yes. Who are they learning from? This is something that we need to do as a return responsibility. And Baba is talking about this serviceability today. And Baba asks us to check 3 things. Very interesting 3 things. Baba says, check whether what is your fragrance like? What is your vibration like? Baba says, check that. Second, check how you speak. Is your words accurate? So, do you have a tendency to speak useless things? So, check your fragrance. Check whether you have the tendency to speak useless things. And check whether you get angry. Check whether you get angry. And these are very important points of a serviceable soul. God is the ocean of knowledge, and when He talks with so much accuracy. And I was marveled at these 3 points that Baba asks us to check today. So let me check my vibration. So does anyone feel worthy and peaceful and welcome, appreciated, not judged in my presence? Do they feel that they can trust and they can have faith in this one and they can talk to this one? Is my fragrance of that kind? Yes. So, what is my fragrance like? What kind of a signal do I give from my spiritual vibration? And if you are really following Srimad and working on your purity, then anyone who comes around you feels like talking to you. You know, I've seen the most, apparently frozen hearts, people who look like they are very closed down, or they won't open up to anybody. I've seen those people cry in front of deities in temples. When they go in front of a statue, they just start crying. And what is it that moves them so much that their eyes well up? So Baba says, just think about the power of fragrance, that spiritual fragrance. Because in a temple there are vibrations of, at least surrender, and because everybody goes with a pure heart in the temple. That's why there is that vibration. And Baba says, you are the living goddess and gods. You're the Chaitanya Devi Devtai. You're being sustained by God Himself, and He is making you like Himself. So just check what your vibration is like. When somebody comes to you, do they feel welcome? Do they feel loved? Do they feel that I will never be judged here? Do they feel like, yes, I will get my answers here? So that's the kind of vibration, that's the kind of fragrance Baba's children should have. Nobody should feel uncomfortable or feel like, hiding or feel like pretending before us. And if I'm not myself in that frequency where I've been completely honest with Baba, completely and honestly I've surrendered to Baba, and I have completely given up all my impurity and embraced what Baba has given me with a lot of courage. If I've not done that act, I cannot have that vibration. And I have seen that even in the center, when somebody comes, they will say, I want to talk to this person, not to anybody else. Even in a center that happens. Why? Because everybody's vibration is different. So Baba says, check your fragrance. What are you becoming like? Second thing, check whether you speak useless words. Because if you have the tendency to talk useless things, talk more than necessary, talk what is not necessary, then you cannot have accurate words when you speak to somebody. Yes, if you have wasted your verbal energy, then Baba cannot use your mouth to serve through words. So always check what are you doing with your mouth. And in Hindi there are these three words, Vakya, Mahavakya and Vardhan. And what is a Vakya? A Vakya is a simple sentence. What is a Mahavakya? A Mahavakya is an elevated statement. And what is a Vardhan? A Vardhan is a blessing. And all these three are given through the mouth. So a simple statement is also spoken, elevated words are also spoken, and blessings are also given through the mouth. But when will your words sound like blessings? When you have not wasted your verbal energy. When you've always used your mouth to speak words that are meaningful, essential, that are filled with, this good wish that the other soul should get elevated. When you've always used your mouth to serve according to what Baba says, then your mouth will be qualified to serve. And this is why Baba says, always keep checking whether you are speaking anything useless. Yes, and if you want to be a good Baba's instrument, then, and you want your mouth to, speak Gyan, then this qualification is very necessary. Because Gyan can only be spoken by a mouth that doesn't speak anything useless ever. And then the third thing that Baba asks us to check is whether you get angry. Now, anger is a sanskar, and it can get triggered anytime. So if you have the sanskar of anger, it will show itself sometime or the other. And on the field of service, there will be many things that you will have to deal with. Yes, let's say heat, a very simple thing as heat. You're asked to do a seva standing under the sun. And then as your body is getting heated up, you are also getting heated up inside. And then someone asks you 2 questions and you burst out at them. Then all that service is over. So Baba says, you have to work on the sanskar of anger. Nothing should be able to make you angry. Nothing on this planet should be able to make you angry. And that is when you can do Baba's service. Yes. Even if somebody is at their worst behavior, the weather is at its worst condition, if you don't have the sanskar of anger, you cannot get angry. Yes, so Baba says, and I have seen Didis and I've seen, I've heard stories about Brahma Baba and Dadi Janki and other Dadis. And what was so beautiful about their demeanor, that they could serve, they never got angry. So, even if it's a congregation of 1 lakh souls, and then, they are pestering them with questions, or they are asking bizarre questions. Even then, Dadi would be very softly, gently, politely answering everybody. And when there are Baba's children sitting, then sometimes, some things are said strictly because we are the ones who recognize Baba, and we are the ones who recognize the sisters, and we are the ones who are committed to improving ourselves. So just like Baba says in the Murli, sometimes, the laundryman has to beat the cloth hard because it's very dirty. So yes, that is sometimes done to students who are regular. But to newcomers, you cannot get angry. Yes, so you cannot be strict also. Sometimes with students, there is a little of strictness, because without strictness, change becomes very difficult. Yes, so there is strictness because those students have recognized Baba and they want to improve. So there is some strictness in the teaching, sometimes in the Murli class. But then that cannot happen when you are on the service field outside. Yes, and Baba says that this is why you need to check your serviceability. So, what is serviceability? Your fragrance meter, your anger meter, and and the third is your how you speak. If you have a tendency to speak useless things, your mouth cannot be used for service. So check this and become serviceable. Yes, and Baba says that if you are not serviceable, then what you're doing is disservice. Yes, so if somebody sees you talking useless stuff, or somebody sees you getting angry, or somebody doesn't feel comfortable in your presence, then they get an idea that BKs are very ordinary people. And then they never try to find out what Baba is teaching. So Baba says that becomes a source of disservice. And Baba says there's 100-fold punishment for disservice. So don't do that. Yes. And then Baba in the Murli today says, Having made a promise to God, don't disobey Him. So, what is the promise? So, I told you there is a hidden promise. When you take from someone, you do what is expected in that relationship. Yes? There is an unsaid and unwritten rule. So, Baba says, when you belong to me, you are committed to purity, you are committed to doing what Baba says. And Baba says, don't disobey him if you belong to him. Don't cause anyone sorrow. So we are the children of the bestower of happiness. We don't cause sorrow to anyone. Yes, we don't get angry on anyone. We don't speak bitter. We never put anyone down. We don't do these things. Yes. Now let's understand one thing here about causing sorrow. So, sometimes somebody has some expectation from you and they are getting sorrowful because of their expectation. Okay, so you don't take responsibility of that. Okay, you have to check whether you did something to cause sorrow. Okay, so let's take a very simple example. You are working on making your food pure, and then somebody thinks it's rude if you don't eat the food that they prepare. So you are not giving sorrow because you are not speaking anything bitter, or you are not getting angry, or you are not putting anybody down, or you are not doing anything to cause sorrow there. You're just following your discipline. So that's not causing sorrow. Causing sorrow is you check yourself whether you are acting out of lust, anger, ego, attachment, or greed. Okay, so you don't act out of lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. That is causing sorrow. So Baba says, check whether you are causing sorrow to anybody. Yes, if somebody gets sorrowful because you are not meeting their expectations which are outside your maryada, that is not causing sorrow. Yes, because their idea of happiness is distorted, so they are getting sorrow. So you don't go into that trap. Yes, somebody says you're not giving me lust, so I'm in sorrow. So that their idea of happiness is distorted. So you don't fall into that trap. But one thing that one needs to understand here is, let's say somebody has certain expectation from us. Now, let me give you a very simple example. When I came into Seva, so, sometimes there are family members who expect more of your time. Yes, maybe they expect you to spend 8 hours talking to them or gossiping about stuff, or there are expectations to spend time with them. Now, according to my calculation of what Baba's Srimat is, I feel that half an hour or 1 hour of good time well spent with family members is enough to sustain a relationship. Okay, let's say I have made that calculation. And then I live by that calculation. I don't ignore them. I definitely give them 1 hour of quality time. Yes. But then I don't give them 8 hours like they expect. Yes. And they are mad at me for that. Sometimes they are mad at you for that. Then how do you deal with this situation? First thing is you have compassion towards their madness. So you understand that they're allowed to be mad and it's okay. And you understand that if you increase your number of hours from 1 hour to 8 hours, that madness is not going to go away, because that's because of their sanskar. So what you do is, you don't harbor any ill feelings. You continue to give that 1 hour, and you stay very loveful inside. And slowly, gradually, that love in your heart will finish that complaint. Yes? But if you start asking why are they not happy, or why are they not supportive, or whenever there is a question of why, then your energy of love gets blocked. And then what happens is, you are the only source which is going to give Baba's energy to them. Now, if you start blocking your loveful energy, then they are not receiving anything from you, or rather negative from you. And that's not how a relationship is going to get sustained in the long run. Yes, so even if somebody is sorrowful because they are expecting something, and you think that, okay, I should give this much, give that much, but don't stop giving love. Give enough love. If somebody has stopped calling you because they expected something and you're not fulfilling them, don't stop calling them because they stopped calling you. You keep doing that. Okay? At a frequency that you think is appropriate. If you think calling them once in 3 days is appropriate, you do that. You don't become worked up that I have to call them every day because now they are angry. No. If you have calculated for yourself that calling in 3 days is okay, you keep calling in 3 days, and even if they don't pick the call, call them in another 3 days. You keep doing your thing. So you find out a balance between how you want to build that relationship and what you want to do in that relationship, whether it is accepted or not accepted. You just go on doing that in a very loveful way. And slowly that relationship will come to equilibrium. Yes, so this is important. So you have to check whether you are causing sorrow or not. And second, you have to check whether you are doing the needful or not. And if somebody is sorrowful because you're not overdoing it, that's not your problem. But don't stop doing the needful because they are expecting you to overdo it. So you say, no, I'll not even do what I need to. Don't come into reaction. That's very important. So Baba says, don't cause anyone sorrow. Those who become angry, distress others, or behave in a way that would defame God's name will have to experience a lot of punishment. Therefore, don't perform any such actions. Yes, always remember you are God's children. Yes, you stand for Baba and your actions reflect Baba's teachings. So you have to be very careful with your actions. No matter if an illness breaks out. What illness is Baba talking about? The illness of the soul. So even if an illness is breaking out, how does an illness break out? Sometimes you're listening to somebody and then you're fuming from inside. You've started fuming from inside. Yes, so that anger is breaking out. That's an illness, old illness. So it's getting triggered because of the environment. Now Baba says, no matter if an illness breaks out or how many storms of Maya come, remain constantly free from performing wrong actions by using your intellect to judge what is right and what is wrong. So Baba says, even if your mind is in a turmoil and there is a storm of Maya going on, don't act out of that. Use your buddhi. Your buddhi knows what is right and what is wrong. Use that and do the right thing. Even if you're feeling angry, don't speak angrily. Speak softly. Why? Because you have a mind that is experiencing feelings of anger, but then you understand your position, you understand who you are representing, and then you do as Baba would do there. Okay? So even if your mind is not okay, and I will tell you one thing, so sometimes, we have full day seva, and then there is, people are coming and going and coming and going, and then 24 hours I've been sitting in one place and talking to souls. Then what happens at the end, last 2-3 hours, I can't even listen to what people are saying. So, there is this, ears get shut down, their capacity is finished. And then, what I do is, I just keep my eyes open, my heart open, and I speak what Baba wants me to speak. I do not tell myself my ears are closed, I can't hear, so I can't reply. So I just sit there invoking Baba and keeping my heart open, and I just say whatever Baba wants me to say at that time. So that's how you use your buddhi, even if your mind is not working. Sometimes your mind is not working at all. Yes, you cannot think, there's no capacity to create anything. But Baba says you have a buddhi and you can connect your buddhi to me. Just keep me in your awareness and do as I say. Don't fall into that trap of your feelings or whatever is coming to your mind at that time. And avoid creating any vikarma. Even if you're tired or you're feeling bored or you're feeling upset, whatever it is, you just use your buddhi and work at that time. Don't go by what your mind is saying. And then in the blessing today, Baba says 2 things. Remain aware of your stage and remain aware of your status. And Baba says, what is your stage? Baba says, always remember you are on a stage. So, when somebody is on a stage, they are very aware people are watching them. And Baba has given us the knowledge that whenever you do something, then many souls are picking on those vibrations. Yes, so always know you are on a stage and whatever you are doing is having an impact. So when you are always aware that my actions have an impact, then your stage will become very good, because you will not act irresponsibly. And then if you always perform good karma, your sanskars will become very powerful. And then the second thing Baba says is always remember your status. Who are you and who you're going to be? I am a present godly child and a future deity. Do you understand that? Do you understand how people in the royal family are so aware of their status? And they do not do anything that is out of the decorum, that's not in line with the code of conduct. So Baba says, remember your status, you're God's child now, and you're a future deity. So I cannot just be very flexible with my actions. I have to be very responsible with my thought, word, and action. So Baba says, remember these two things, that you are always on a stage, and remember your status, and then you will become equal to the Father. You will become like Baba. And the slogan is, desires are the reason for jealousy and a lack of attainment. Where there are all attainments, there is happiness. So Baba says, first you create a desire, and then you see somebody who has what you are desiring for, and you become jealous of them. Yes? So if you have a desire, and then you see somebody who has that which you desire, then you become jealous of them. And the second thing is, if you have a desire, then it gives rise to a feeling, I don't have enough. And then it takes away your happiness. So you see, something that you are creating is making you jealous of others and is taking away your happiness. So Baba says, don't go after desires, because desire is a sanskar. It's a programming of the mind that if I have something extra, I will be happier. But it's just a programming. Yes? Happiness, if you are happy, you are happy. If you're unhappy, you are unhappy. It's not that if you get something, you'll become happy. You've got so much since you just compare your life 10 years back and today. You got so much that you desired for, but it's not made you happier than you were. Why? Because desire is just a programming that if you get this, you will be happy. So Baba says, don't go into that trap. You will get what you need when you need it. And if you're not getting it, that means you don't need it right now. Just do what you need to do. Don't go after desires, because once you create a desire, immediately you start feeling jealous of others and start feeling unhappy because you feel you don't have enough. Okay? So whenever there is a thought emerging from a feeling of desire, just look at it knowledgefully and change it. Say, no, I have enough. I don't want anything. If it has to come, it will come at the right time. It will come when I need it. And if I don't have it today, I don't need it today. And Baba is taking care of my needs. I will never have less than I need. That's a law applying to Baba's children. Okay? There is something I want to share with all of you. We are starting a new batch of Raj Yoga course from 8th July. The details of the course are there in front of the screen. You can read them, and there is a number on which registration is to be done if somebody intends to do the course. I request you all to send this message to each and every soul you know, so that they can also take the benefit of Baba's knowledge and whatever Baba wants to give them. So make this a personal mission to send this message to each and every soul, the details of the course, so that they can register on the given number and undertake the course. Om Shanti.